Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Of course, I'm here just to look good. What do you think? Okay, so I don't look that good. But what I do have is some information that might help you if you happen to have a V6 2.5 Sebring convertible, the Chrysler Cirrus, the Stratus, all these little 2.5 V6s that have the self-containing distributors. I'm going to show you how to rebuild it. And if you want to replace each individual component, this particular case, I had an incident happen where I ended up having half of a good one and half of a bad one. So I decided to make one good one out of it. But for the donors, so it would help mankind out, I'm going to tear it down for you and show you what the parts do, and maybe empower you to possibly save yourself and your family just a little bit of change. All right, put it on pause. We'll reposition for the parts.
Action.
Okay, guys, so you've went through the absolute agony of pulling this out, which I guess there's worse things in life, but not many. So anyway, set it on your bench, and this is what you got. I've already got this thing taken apart, but I reset it back together for the speed of actually making this video. So let's go over the components and tell you what they're for and what goes bad on them, and this may help you somehow determine what's going on with your particular distributor and whether you need a coil, whether you have a bad cam sensor, a bad cap, a bad rotor button, whatever the case is, we're going to take a look at it and we're going to know what's going on with it. So first thing we're going to take a look at, and you're going to notice on one end of it, it has a key. And that key should turn real smooth. This one particular one don't, but you'll notice it's got a broke edge on it. But this key right here, you're going to have a shop press that out if this breaks. So pay close attention when this thing goes back in. One side of it has a keyway that's cut and the other one's flat. And you'll have to get a little mirror to make sure you line it up. If you don't line it up, this is what's going to happen. When you go to tighten it in, the ear is going to break off. But we'll get past that right now. Now, the first thing that can cause a distributor to go bad is this ring right here. Can you see that real good, camera? This gasket. This particular gasket on this one started failing, and it started leaking and basically got inside the case and pretty much fried one thing or another. I know that sounds real specific, but I didn't go through the agony of figuring out exactly what was wrong with it. Alright, so pulling it apart, this is what you got. Let's start with the distributor cap. Now, we can look inside of this distributor cap at all the different angles. I don't know how well you're seeing that, but you can look inside the contact points, and you're looking for brown burning. Like, the camera's telling me one thing, but you can just say it out loud. They don't care.
Down. Perfect.
Down?
Perfect.
Okay, cool. So look down inside of here. Look at your contact points. If you're doing a quick maintenance job, sand the tip of this, scrape that, scrape this. You know, your contact points, just go ahead and just, you know, get the old carbon off of it. And look for any cracks that may be happening. Problem number one, possibly cracked distributor cap. Your car will still be running, usually just running like crap. It can actually cause it not to start, but possible, but not likely. Alright, here's the next thing that can happen.
Hold it up.
This right here is your rotor button. Do you see it right here? It kind of turns free. When you turn this rotor button, it actually turns the cog key in the back, because there's only one shaft that goes through the middle of this. Alright, now if you want to replace this, all you do is simply pull it off. Okay? Now I want them to point out it has a triangular shape on the back, so when you go to put it back on, it's only going to fit one way because one side is actually longer.
Bring it down.
Is actually longer than the other. Okay? So, this contact point right here, which you can see mine's burnt up. Can you see it? Alright, so that's kind of burnt up. And you can see from the top, she's been taking some heat. I'm pretty sure we got a bad coil going on, among other things. Alright, then you're going to see yourself looking at this screw at the top. See it right here? And what this is right here is your reluctor wheel, but right now we're going to talk about this screw. Alright, put it on pause. Let me get a flathead.
Action.
Okay, so I'm going to take this little flathead. Now, of course, I'm going to make it look real easy in the video so you feel like a total idiot because yours doesn't come out that easy, but the truth is it wasn't that easy to start with. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is take out this screw. And you're going to notice your keyway right there. And that's what holds your rotor button onto the shaft. Now the first component we're going to run across is the reluctor wheel. And that right here sits right here. And what this reluctor wheel does, it passes past a magnet, which is right here. You see where it's passing? And every time it passes it, it sends an electrical pulse. This is where your cam sensor picks up its signal from. Okay, so can this reluctor wheel go bad? I guess if you hit it with a hammer, but outside of that, your reluctor wheel is not your problem. Now, they were very smart to put a little washer on here, and it's a real tight fit. It goes on the end of the keyway here. Unfortunately, this is already apart, so it's kind of sinking a little bit. But that washer goes underneath the reluctor wheel. It's a little spacer. Alright, so now we're down to this little connector right here. And this little connector right here goes to something called the ASD. You may hear of it. Auto Shutdown Relay.
Bring it down.
How's that look?
Good.
Is that pretty much down?
Yeah.
Okay, the auto shutdown relay, it just has 3 little cogs on it right here, little slips that go over, 3 little fins. And you can just slide it out, and there's one little Phillips head that holds it right here. And basically, it's setting power to everything. This is a hot positive line. When you turn your key on, I think it's an 8 volt that it sends to the ASD, tells all this stuff to operate. So that's when people say, hey, your ASD relay is not working. They mean that this particular item right here does not have power. Okay, enough about the ASD turning things on. Let's get right into, quote-unquote, the cam sensor, the igniter, all that good stuff is right here. I'm pretty sure, I haven't tried to replace this, but I'm pretty sure they would sell it. And if I had to guess, they'd probably just sell this whole piece as a unit. That'd be my guess. Alright, you see on the bottom of it's insulated. Alright, so this, if someone's telling you about a cam sensor and this distributor, this is what they're talking about. This is where your 6-point plug is at. And this can go bad. If you notice right here, I do see a little bit of wet oil right here. So oil is penetrating in it. And if you pull yours apart, you can look for burn marks right here on the circuit, on that chip right there. You see it? Which you can replace. But guys, it's cheaper just to go ahead and buy it. Look at the bottom for any burn marks. I'm not seeing any. Looks pretty good. Doesn't mean anything, but nothing obvious. Alright, so now we've discussed the cam sensor and its signaling. Alright, now the next piece you're going to see is a spacer. And this spacer is designed to take up the space on the bottom of here and keep it off of the coil. So as you're taking this away, you've taken away your cam signal. Now you have a spacer. Can't screw this up. Right now the only replaceable part we've really done is this, which is the cam sensor. Alright, now here's the big deal. Everybody's like, oh my god, the coil's part of it, blah, 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 blah. Alright, well, here's the coil. That's all there is to it. You're looking for any obvious cracks or sign of wear and tearing. You know what? I don't actually see anything on this one. I do see some discoloration right here, but, you know, that's not untypical. Don't see anything really drastic burn marks or anything like that, so don't really see that it's grounding. So we probably actually have a good coil in this car. So if you had a car that you knew had a bad coil in it, you can see it's pretty simple. You can just replace it. Alright, so the rest of this mysterious little jewel, if you look down in here, you're going to see yet another, I'm going to call it a washer slash tie or fastener. It has two Phillips heads that hold it, and you just pop those off. Alright, put it on pause and I'm going to show them how to take this out. Okay, so now we have this shaft going through the middle that operates the key that runs in the cam. So you just kind of tap it lightly. You don't want to damage it, you know, but I want you to pay attention to it for all the way from the end. So this one shaft is controlling everything. And what it looks like in here, it's basically got a bearing. This can go bad. You may hear this strange, funky sound. If I can get it out. If I can get the bearing out. It usually just falls out, but I guess since I kind of didn't take the time to... Alright, pause it. Let me...
Action.
Now we have the casing, and like I said, there's a bearing in there, and there it is. And of course, there's a little sleeve, a little gasket that kind of goes in here on the shaft that keeps the oil. So it'd be the bearing, then it'd be the little gasket, and that's basically it. There's your mysterious distributor that no one seems to want to screw with. Actually, I do recommend people replace it, but I'm kind of one of those technical people, so if I get, you know what I mean, if there's a way to fix something that can be reused, I have a tendency to do that. But anyway, guys. Alright, pause it, and...
Action.
Alright, guys, so it's a wrap. Real quick again, just going to go through it. You got one keyway shaft. Goes through it. Small little gasket. Little washer. Bearing. Little spacer. Anyway, guys, so ain't a whole lot to it, but I just wanted to, you know, kind of fill you in on how to do this, and maybe it'll help somebody along life's way. And anyway, do me a favor, subscribe to my channel, because I love having people subscribe. And if this is helpful in any way, please feel free to drop a comment and tell me how much you hated it, or how good I look, or whatever you want to. I don't think I look. Was kidding. Everybody knows I look great. Anyway, we support our troops abroad. Home front hugs. Look it up. Jen will love you forever. Support a veteran. Support an active duty guy. Just kind of adopt them for 6 months. Send them some cool stuff. Let them know you love them. And anyway, man, nothing but the car man. We're growing every day, and you're going to be part of the team. See you on the next flip.